Hello and welcome back to another YouTube video where we are going to be fitting a Dune 4-wheel drive awning and a Dune 4-wheel drive shower awning. I have originally had a King's awning to begin with on this van, as you may have seen in my van build series. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. But it broke after a couple of months of use, which wasn't great. So I've decided to swap brands and go for a Dune 4-wheel drive, and we'll see how we go. So the tools needed in this was a big socket set, and I also had that heat gun there. But I wasn't sure if I'd have to use it or not. In the end, I didn't end up needing it, but I wasn't sure if I had used Loctite to secure the old nuts and bolts, which you're currently looking at. And if I had used Loctite, then I may have had to use the heat gun, the blowtorch, to loosen the bolts. But luckily I didn't, so it was easy enough with the socket set. The only issue I had was with the bottom nut and bolt here. You can see I tried to use a longer socket piece and it wouldn't fit in because of the roof rack. So then I grabbed a shorter socket piece. Again, it wouldn't fit in with the roof rack. So I was hoping that third time lucky, I was going to be able to get in there with a spanner, and it worked a treat. We managed to get that out. Sometimes when you're building things, you kind of have to just keep going and going and going. It might take 100 attempts to do the job you're trying to do, but you get there in the end, as long as you're not in too much of a rush. Especially if you're in a rush, don't think about doing an awning, because every single bracket that I put on my roof rack, I had to use a socket or a spanner like this, and very, very slowly, this is sped up probably 1,000 times, very slowly secure the brackets with the spanner. So you can see the difference between the new awning I have there and the old awning on the left. The new awning is a little bit longer and maybe slightly better quality. I don't want to rag on Kings too much because I do have some of their other equipment like a fridge, and so far it's been awesome. But the awning itself wasn't great quality, so I'm hoping this one might be a little bit better. You can see here we're starting to put the new Dune 4-wheel drive awning on the side of the van after going through the vigorous task of getting rid of the old one. The issue we had here is that you may have just noticed, my friend Norm there, he dropped one of the bolts, one of the last bolts we needed, and we could not find it for ages. We were looking in that grass for like 5 minutes for the little nut and bolt, and I was a little bit defeated at this point, I'll be real. We managed to find it though, so that's the good news, and we managed to get the awning up onto the side of the van without any other issues. You can just see him putting his last nut and bolt on there, so happy days. The next part of the job was to fit the new roof racks. So these roof racks are T85, I believe, ProRack roof racks, and again, no sponsorship or anything. You can buy what you like, but for me these have been awesome, especially with the Toyota Hiace. The Toyota Hiace has little brackets on the side where you can just hook these roof racks on, and you can see within 5 to 10 minutes of unboxing those roof racks, I had them assembled and put together, and then it was just a case of lifting them up onto the top of the van and hooking them onto the rails that run on the side of the van. I already have 2 of these roof racks, so I knew they did a real good job. That's what's holding my solar panels on the roof. So I decided to put another 2 at the back of the van, and this was going to be for the shower awning, which we're going to look at installing now. Again, real easy to assemble, real easy to fit yourself. You don't need to rivet anything, you don't need to drill any holes in the roof if you have a Toyota Hiace Commuter with rails like mine. So we got the roof racks on. I'm going to adjust the position a little bit here in the future, but what I need to do is for the brackets that go for the shower awning, I need to drill some holes because the holes weren't big enough. So I use a drill bit, and also this cutting fluid here. Highly recommend cutting fluid. My initial van build I did, if you've seen the series, I didn't use cutting fluid for the longest time, and I was burning through drill bit after drill bit. As soon as I used the cutting fluid, it was like night and day. The improvement it makes when you're cutting through metal not to wear out your drill bit is amazing. Make sure when you've drilled into the metal that you use a brush and maybe a blower to get rid of the little bits of metal shavings, because they will rust your van. And then definitely make sure to buy yourself some sort of Rust-Oleum, which is what I've just used there, to prevent rust from occurring on the spots that you have drilled out. When we got all of that done, it was just a case of putting the L brackets onto the roof rack, and then again going through the long, arduous process of securing the bolts with the nuts with a spanner. So this again was a job that was going to take forever. First though, I wanted to do the other roof rack, so I again repeated the process, drilling out using cutting fluid, cleaning all of the debris and little bits of rust and little metal shavings off the roof rack so it would minimize rust, spraying it with Rust-Oleum to again prevent rust, because you've got to think this part of your van is exposed to the elements pretty much 24/7, so you want to make sure you're trying to prevent rust as best as possible. Again, drilling out the holes, cleaning as much rust as we can, or as much metal shavings to prevent the rust, spraying it with Rust-Oleum. A very fun process you can see here. I'm having so much fun doing this. Repeating the same process over and over again. I'm absolutely living the dream in this video, as you can see. Anyway, when we got the brackets on, you can see all I had to do was connect the shower awning onto the L brackets that we installed on the roof racks. Had lots of fun, awesome, the best day I've ever had in my life. So much fun. There you go, look at me go with that spanner there. But the job was completed, so we had a new awning on and a new shower awning. So when I get out camping again with Jen, I'll definitely show you how both of those are working. Hopefully they work, I'm not 100% sure. Haven't tried them, too scared to. But that's the video. If you want to see anything else, please subscribe below. Any comments or questions, let me know down below, and see ya.